Hello, everyone. This is Roz Henderson, and I am here for my tribe. And that tribe is I work with entrepreneurs who hate sales. I help them fall in love with it by giving them skills, shifting mindset so that they can make a regular and consistent income. Today, we're going to be talking about accountability, one of my favorite topics in the whole wide world. When I say accountability, what do you think? Well, the average person, they cringe. And they cringe because they've had these past experiences with accountability. It may have been harsh, it may have been judgmental, it may have been criticisms by parents, teachers, and coaches. And therefore, it left a bad taste in your mouth. Got it? But that is not the type of accountability that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the right kind. And the right kind is going to guide you to a higher level of performance. It's going to help you do what you can't do on your own. And an accountability partner is one of the main ones who cheerleads for you. They want to see you successful. That's the kind of accountability partnership I'm talking about. And when we think about success, and I know we come from the Western world where it's about the rugged individual and we can do this on our own. I did it my way. Yes, yes, but that is not how life truly, truly works because this is what you get from an accountability partner, the right one. You get help in seeing maybe patterns that you're blind to. That saves you a lot of time. It helps you grow quickly. For instance, maybe there are patterns of behavior where you start strong, but your finish is oftentimes weak. You need to know that. Maybe another thing could be that your partner notices that when you have to do something hard, you start making excuses. That gives you an opportunity to do something about that, get some strategies in place, and to change. Your accountability partner is able to help you focus and to stay on task because I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes you can jump the train track and end up smelling daisies and doing everything else instead of money making activities. We need the help of someone to help us stay focused. You can get maybe more motivated because that accountability partners help you to see the big picture, reminds you of your why, or just simply says, I believe in you. All those things make a difference in performance. Now, sometimes an accountability partner will also model behaviors that you need to see, ways of thinking, ways of being that are under development in you. For example, I have a good friend who I call an exercise nut because this is someone who loves exercise, is all about health and fitness. Me, not so much. So I thought it was a smart idea to partner with her because I wanted to get more exercise in. I was looking at some of my health goals and I knew she could help me with that. This woman is very disciplined for many months, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You could find us exercising together. And something happened very, very slowly is that I was somehow able to download her discipline. Somehow it became a part of me. I internalized it over time, which meant that I needed my friend a little bit less and less because now I was on my own, able to walk my walks, my 45-minute walks, Monday, on Wednesday, and Friday. That's what an accountability partner can do for you. So it's really important. So the objective of this little lesson today is simple. I want to help you learn how to set up a great accountability partnership, and I want you to be able to use it to reach your sales goals. So, what are you looking for in a partner? You want certain qualities. You want that person to be someone who has some grace, They're going to accept you for who you are, but they're also going to hold up a standard for you at the same time. They got to recognize that you're human, I'm human, you're human. Yes, you might have had a rough week. You didn't reach your goals because your child's been sick all week. We get that. You want someone who is going to be filled with grace, but also you want someone who's going to be dedicated to honesty, mm, who's going to give you some real feedback that's going to make a difference. And I gave you some examples before. They'll notice, for instance, that, hey, I notice you have a defeatist attitude every time it's time to do something hard. Oh, Tom, on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being most motivated, how motivated are you really to hit this goal? Because 3 weeks in a row, 3 weeks in a row, you failed to hit the goal. So, what can we do to improve upon this? So, it's important to have an accountability partner who is all about the truth in order to help you grow and reach your outcomes. I want somebody who's going to celebrate wins with me. That's really someone in your corner, someone who really cares about you when they are going to be a cheerleader and say, oh my goodness, you did it, you did it. They're going to celebrate that. And what does it do? It motivates you. So that's what you want. You want someone who is going to be willing to do the hard thing. Because in this accountability partnership, it's important to implement the sweet spot. Okay. And the sweet spot is oftentimes missing in these partnerships. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about implementing a consequence that both of you have talked about and given each other permission to do when you fail to hit your goal over and over again. There must be trust in this relationship for you to give someone that blessing to do that. Well, these are some of the qualities you're looking for in an accountability partner. So let's talk about that first meeting that you have with that partner. You decided this is the one. This is the one with whom I want to have a partnership with. That first meeting, you're going to be discussing about the basics of how to run a meeting. You're going to design it your way because you're going to have specific needs in this relationship. You're going to agree to meet once a week, at least in the beginning. You can do it bi-weekly as time goes on, but in the beginning, consistency is everything in this relationship. You're going to meet no less than 30 minutes. Each of you have 15 minutes to be inspected. You've stated what you're going to do the prior week, and then it's time to be inspected. Did you do what you said you were going to do in the past week? You're going to decide, how are we going to communicate? Phone, Zoom? Hey, it's up to you. And then you're going to get to the more difficult aspects of the partnership. How would you like your feedback? Feedback is important in a partnership. And we, again, tend to go, we cringe when we hear that word feedback. But feedback given correctly and in the way that we want it makes it easier for us to accept areas that we need to improve upon. So, some people like the sandwich approach. That means, tell me something that I did well, tell me how I can improve, and then finish off with a positive statement. That's fine. And here's an example of that. Perhaps I'd say, Jim, you did a great job. I mean, you did what you said you were going to do. You did generate 20 leads. Fantastic. But you didn't complete the goal because you said that you were going to run 5 sales calls. So I'm noticing that, this is something you need to think about because It's a pattern. It's a pattern where you do part of the goal, but for some reason you don't do the rest of it. So how can we maybe adjust the goal so that you're completing it each week? Isn't that non-threatening? Okay, I'm on your side. I want to see you win. Now, there are other people, entrepreneurs, who say, give me my feedback between the eyes. Give it to me straight. But here's the point. I want you to be able to discuss how you'd like your feedback. Talk about that and then implement it just the way your partner has requested. Important. Another part of this conversation you need to focus on is talking about consequences. Talking about consequences. Again, this is the place, oftentimes in the relationship, we kind of avoid it because it involves an ouch to it. And sometimes it seems like we're being mean to implement consequences. But can I say that we deal with consequences just about every day of our lives? We fail to do something, there's a natural consequence to failing to do something, especially over and over again. And to make this relationship work and for it to be effective, for you to spend your time in an accountability partnership, let's make it work. Let's make it work. This is the time you talk about consequences that you think are going to move the needle to make sure that you're staying on task. Once you decide on the consequence, you're going to give that partner of yours permission to implement it, and you're going to decide the time frame in which this is going to be implemented. Now, let me give you an example. With my accountability partner, I have agreed to write $100 check to a right wing organization if I fail to reach my goal for that week 3 times in a row. 3 times. If I miss 3 times in a row, I have got to write that check. Do you know that makes me cringe even thinking about it? And there were times that I came right under the wire, but I have hit my goals because there is no way that I want to write that check to a right wing organization. But if I failed to hit my goals, then I am giving my partner the authority to point out to me that I need to make out that check and to mail it. So, these are some of the ideas, and there's other things that you might want to talk about. But these are some of the ideas that you can use during your first meeting to talk about how this partnership is going to work. All right. So, let's move on to how we can use accountability to help us be better at sales. My goodness, there are so many ways that you can use the partnership to help you generate leads, to run sales calls, to improve your sales skills, and to keep you motivated. There's a lot of different ways. I'm just going to give you one example for the sake of time. I have a client, Tanya, who's fairly new to sales. She's in the wellness industry, and she's running sales calls, but this is what distracts her. Every time she hears a no from a prospect, she takes it as rejection. The feeling is so intense that she wants to throw in the towel. She said to me, you know what, Rosalind? I know I need to have tougher skin, but selling right now feels brutal. What can I do? Well, I know she had an accountability partner, so I just simply said, let's try this strategy. I want you to pad pad the next sales calls you are on. So before you hop on the next sales call, I want you to set up your appointment, your sales appointment, at a time that is good for your partner. Your partner needs to be available because you're going to call your partner before you run that sales call. And you're going to dump all your feelings. You're going to get some encouragement, maybe some strategy from your partner, and then you run that call. Now, if the prospect ends up buying your service or your product, fantastic. If they say no, there you are feeling rejected. I want you to call, communicate with your accountability partner and talk about your feelings. Talk and analyze that prospect's no. Mhm. And exactly what did that prospect say? How did they say no? Why do you think that they said no? And tell me, was it really about you? Is that the reason why they said no? What are other reasons that they listed for saying no? Oftentimes, when we do the reflection, we realize that it's not even about us at all. Perhaps this prospect really doesn't have the money for our services, or it's the wrong season for the prospect. And sometimes we need to take what's in our head and discuss it with someone or write about it. Well, here's the good news because Tanya's accountability partner who just rode with her, rode with her with these emotions, helped her to see past them, encouraged her, and they worked on different sales approaches because of all of that and her dedication to her partner. What happened for Tanya is that these feelings began to slowly wane. And as they waned, she now has become, over many months, pushing through uncomfortable feelings. She is now an effective salesperson and she's moving powerfully down her sales journey. So there are a lot of ways to use accountability partners to help us reach whatever sales goals that we have. I just gave you one example. So let's wrap this up. You know, that the right accountability partner is just really vital if we're going to reach for higher goals, goals that maybe even we thought were impossible. A partner can help motivate you, give you insight, and help you stay on track until you see that goal become a reality. So work on structuring your relationship in a way that's unique to both of you and tweak that relationship, and you'll find yourself over time hitting sales goals more quickly and easily than if you attempted it alone. Until next time, peace and blessings, everyone. Bye bye for now.